So now let's talk about a couple more terms, complementary and supplementary angles. Complementary angles are two acute angles that are complementary if their sum is 90 degrees or pi over 2 radians. And the way I remember this one is that a little joke says that if I had a 60-degree angle walking down the street one day, he saw a 30-degree angle, said, "My, you're looking awfully acute today." The other one said, "Thank you, how very complimentary." And they were right. But okay, so complementary angles, two angles that have a sum of 90 degrees or pi over 2 radians. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So we can only find complements, and it's spelled with an E, not I, complements of a acute angle. So this 46 degree, I can find my complement pretty directly. My complement for the angle will be found by subtracting from 90 degrees. So 90 degrees minus 46 degrees, well, that's going to give me 44 degrees. Right, so the complement is 44 degrees. How about the supplement? The supplement is found by taking 180 degrees this time and subtracting our angle of 46 degrees. And when we subtract like that, well, of course, that's going to give us 134 degrees. So that's our supplement. All right, 93 degrees. Well, for 93 degrees, there is no complement. And that is because the angle is greater than 90 degrees. So we cannot subtract from 93 degrees and get a negative angle and call that the complement. It wouldn't work with our definition. Two acute angles, and I should say two acute positive angles, to be exact, here we go, two positive acute angles whose sum is 90 degrees. So there's no complement right here. But there is a supplement, and a supplement is going to be found by taking 180 degrees and subtracting 93 degrees, and that gives us, that's right, 87 degrees in this case. That is my supplement. All right, in degrees, it's not too hard to see. You can put it in a calculator, not too bad. But what about radians? Well, in radians, the only thing to remember is that we're dealing with pi over 2 and pi for our complements and our supplements. So how about pi over 6? Well, my complement is going to be found by taking pi over 2 radians and subtracting away pi over 6 radians. Now that means I'm going to have to get a common denominator. Pi over 2 is the same thing as 3 pi over 6. And pi over 6, so we subtract those two, we find that gives us, pi over 6, pardon me, that gives us 2 pi over 6. And anytime that we have these fractions, we should reduce them. And in exact form, we're going to write this as pi over 3. So the complement to pi over 6 is pi over 3. Interesting. How about our supplement? Well, our supplement is going to be found by subtracting from pi instead of 180 degrees. So in radians, our supplement is going to be found by taking pi minus pi over 6. So when we do the subtraction right here, of course, we get our common denominator. So 6 pi over 6 minus pi over 6 will result in 5 pi over 6 being our complement this time. Okay, can we get a complement for 3 pi over 4? Well, the answer to that, of course, is no, we can't, because 3 pi over 4 is a angle in that's greater than pi over 2, right? That's greater than pi over 2. Sorry, that's greater than pi over 2. Right? If you wanted to compare them, you could say, well, pi over 2 is 2 pi over 4 when you rewrite it as a pi over 4 angle. And so that's greater than that. So we would say, again, there's no complement here. However, we can get a supplement by subtracting it from pi. So let's take our supplement as pi minus 3 pi over 4. And actually, finding these complements and these supplements is really, really easy as long as we remember that finding a common denominator is just really one of the easiest things to do. For pi, for example, it's always whatever number over the denominator, right? So if we have pi over 4, 4 pi over 4. If we have pi over 6, 6 pi over 6. If we had pi over 3, 3 pi over 3, and so on, right? Very easy to do. So 4 pi over 4 minus 3 pi over 4 is going to give me my supplement of pi over 4. And so we're done.